We were just volunteers welcoming first-year students to our university. We'd often hear, homophobic language, discriminatory attitudes, and we'd have to speak up. We'd have to say something. But we had a good approach. We were friendly, opened up about ourselves, and it worked. Tons of students changing their language, tons of students coming out to us, saying they felt more comfortable. So we thought, could this be turned into a high school program?
It says, "To Callie, I think it's great that you're dating a girl and how open-minded you are about it. Even if you're different, I will support you."
The simple acts of kindness provided give me more hope about humanity and the way things will be in the future. Thank you so much.
I'm very grateful for what you guys are doing. It's very comforting to know there are people out there that care enough to try and make change.
Good morning. Welcome to our Get Real Assembly. I'm very excited for us to all be together for something that is really important.
LGBT is a struggle that's going on for this school, but all schools, I think.
The problem for me is that all through school, I didn't really know or understand what it meant to be transgender. It wasn't something people talked about.
When we're in schools, I really try to share some of my experiences with students because I didn't have a lot of role models growing up.
I've never experienced anything like the Get Real presentation before. I really don't know too many people in my community, and it was really amazing to have some people reaching out, telling us their stories. I've never heard any stories really similar to mine before Get Real, and it was really, really awesome to be able to hear people who can relate to me.
Kids need to feel safe, they need to feel understood, they need to be able to relate to others who also go through those same experiences that they experience.
The grateful versus challenging portion of our workshops with Get Real for schools is really a chance to show everyone that we're all going through something, and you just never know what someone their day might be like, what they're going through at home, or how they're feeling. So we have everyone sort of spread out and write down on a piece of paper one thing they're grateful for and one thing they're challenged by. And we have them do it anonymously, and then we collect them and read some out loud. And then at the end we ask, is there anything that resonated with you that you didn't write? And every single person puts their hand up. And so the person next to you might have been struggling with something, and then you really realize that you're not alone.
So I had a student actually upstairs right afterwards to say, I had no idea there were so many students that were gay and lesbian in our school. She just said, I wish I could find them. But she knew, she heard, there's 15 students that asked about coming out, and so she now knows she's not alone. She's part of a community of people that she never realized that she was actually part of.
It kind of answered some questions that I had about myself, but because I didn't know the answer to them. So that was great. It was actually very comforting knowing that this is a common thing. This isn't just something that I feel alone.
I mean, I can definitely relate to the stories. Like, I'm very open here. I'm married to a woman, and if I could go back to grade 8 and get the same presentation, I think my coming out would have been very different. And I think knowing that the support is there and it's a conversation that can be had in schools would have certainly impacted my middle school and high school life for sure.
Get Real has spoken to about 150,000 students across the country.
8 provinces, 3 states. It's taught us a lot about what works in terms of creating allies.
We all have things that make us different, and that's okay. And I think the only way to do that is really to expose it. You can learn a lot from someone by hearing their story face to face.
More than once I've gotten papers from kids that say, you're the first trans person I ever met, but you're cool, we both like hockey or we both like video games, and now I realize that it's okay, it's not a big deal.
I've heard my friends say before I was getting bullied and all this stuff, and then when Get Real came and did their presentation, nothing.
After Get Real, it became a lot more open. The students were more able to share.
Giving them that moment, giving them that opportunity to hear me say that I'm trans and know that that's going to affect how not only they treat other people, but how they think about trans people, it really makes me feel like I'm having an impact. I want to continue to educate people so that they can see a role model which I didn't have.
So even for the teachers to learn, oh my gosh, the real issues in our school are not geography and history and English. They're our students.
I think that I learned from Get Real that having 2 moms or being gay myself is okay, and if people are trying to put you down for it, just stand up for yourself and tell them what's right.
Get Real shows other kids that it's okay to be themselves and just be who they are.
When you leave a workshop with that kind of feedback, you never doubt that it's worth it. It's always worth it.